The sweepstakes are over. L'Jarius Sneed is gone. He is on his way to Tennessee, and it is official now. So the Chiefs traded Sneed to the Titans and received a 2025 third-round pick in addition to a 2024 seventh-round pick swap. Sneed was then given a 4-year, $76.4 million deal. Includes $55 million in guarantees. So there you go. L'Jarius, congratulations, man. Generational wealth right there, buddy.
Absolutely. Good deal.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Fourth round pick, I mean, making nothing, JD, to making 77 mil. That's amazing.
Man, you know, if you come and you show what you can do in the NFL, man, they'll pay you. And so he deserved to be paid. He deserved to be considered as one of the best corners in the league, as we believe he is. He's shown it in the past few years. So, yeah, it was obviously sad to see him go somewhere, but at least he got a big payday. Hopefully he's happy with, you know, what he got. That's the main thing that we see is a guy is happy. Yep. And, you know, we won some hardware with him and couldn't have did it without him, without his play. Yeah. And so hats off to L'Jarius Sneed. We're still going to be following him. We're going to check him out, man. That's family. So that's what, you know, we still, family just moved over to Tennessee. That's it. So he's right down the road from me, you know, up here in Kentucky. So my brother's a huge Tennessee Titans fan. Huge fan. And so
was he excited about the news?
Yeah, he was. You know, he didn't really get into it. He was like, "Yeah, we got your boy Sneed." I said, "Yeah, he's going to be good for y'all. He's going to be good for y'all." So,
and he also got $20 million signing bonus as well. I'm just reading that $20 million signing bonus. Pretty good, man.
It's good.
He made out the champ.
He made out. Well, how much was that guaranteed?
55 million guaranteed and 20 million signing bonus.
Shoot, yeah. Hey, well done. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
Well done. Well done.
So this move, a few things about it. So obviously the move gives us around $30 million to make some moves. We'll get into some of those moves that could be happening sometime soon. But JD, people in Chiefs Kingdom were really, really perplexed by this move. You had a lot of people who understood the move that the Chiefs didn't want to allocate all this money to a cornerback. But then you have some people who just said, like, you're getting rid of a top cornerback to, you know, re-sign some players here and there who are, you know, middle tier guys instead of paying a top dog because we know we're going to get out of him. But then you have some people just mad that we didn't get enough for him, that we got a third round pick next year and then we swapped sevenths. We got an extra seventh. Yeah, you and I both were perplexed by how much we got, what we got back for him. But Jay, what were your thoughts on the deal? And do you think the Chiefs could have gotten more? I know we said they should have gotten more, but do you think they could have gotten more?
You know, so we talked about this. And before all of this happened, we were sitting there saying, look, L'Jarius Sneed, we should be able to get 2 picks in the draft, right? We're hoping to get a second and maybe like something a fourth or something later on, which would have been ideal. You know, obviously multiple picks, like we were saying. And I do believe that there was a couple of reasons why they didn't want to give up as much as they did. I do believe that when the Chiefs were shopping L'Jarius Sneed around, because they was obviously shopping him around, that's why they was like, hey, man, you can go and check out to see what you're getting. We're going to go ahead and put the tag on you, okay? Non-exclusive, but we'll see what's going on, okay? See what they're saying is what's happening. I think maybe part of the deal was his medical coming up about his knee. Could have been possibly something they could have used in a negotiation. Like, listen, hey man, look, we want to do a deal with him. We know he's a dog playing at corner. We know how good he is. He's a physical corner, whatnot. He's a little older guy, and he's got a little bit of injury history, or at least like the knee, right? And so for a guy that needs to backpedal and run as fast as everybody else is running forward, can we put that type of money in, at least giving up picks as well, not to mention on top of it, paying him a big deal, right? The type of money they wanted to pay him. So I do believe that was part of the problem. I think that they had something, done with Indianapolis, maybe a couple other teams, and we kind of overshot it a little bit because we wanted the 2 picks. We wanted something, a little bit more significant. And the medical came in and started negotiating. There was like, look, no way we're going to do this. Okay. We'd rather just stay here, not pay the ticket. We'll keep our picks. You go your way. And so the Chiefs, I think, were hey, we could go either way with it. I think Veach and it was like, look, we pay the $19 million, but we know at the end of the day, next year is going to have to happen. We don't know what's going to go on as far as him probably wanting a longer deal. That could have been part of the move too, right? Because then it's the whole long term. You're going to be having a disgruntled guy, had to keep going through it like Chris Jones, and I don't think that was going to be the outcome. I don't. But I do think that was part of the deal. Why we didn't get as much as we got was part of the medical in that, and then of course what we had to give up as far as paying him as well. So I'm not really upset with it. I thought we should have got something this year, in particular. Maybe should have got their second pick or third, whatever, and then something else, like I said, later on down the field, and then maybe something the next year. So we missed out on that part. We probably should have negotiated a little bit better. I think we had a good negotiation, and people just backed off of it. I think that's me. That's my estimation. That's what we talked about.
Yeah, I think the one thing with this whole, the knee issues, which a lot of teams are scared off by that, as we've been hearing rumblings about that for the last few weeks. He's 27, going on 28, and we're talking about 4-year deal to a guy who's going to be 28 in January, and then he's going to be 32. Obviously, he probably would never get to the 4th year of that, but like this is a premium position. We're spending a lot of money for that. And if you look at what Veach has done, Veach doesn't pay DBs, and
no.
I mean, we're across that bridge in a few years when our guy McDuffie gets to that. We'll see how much they like McDuffie, and the thing about McDuffie won't be 27 by the time that contract's up, which just shows you how much older Sneed is comparatively to guys who come up on their first contract. But I mean, like you said, JD, he comes away with 2 rings at leaving Kansas City. He did his thing, and now he could, instead of going to search for a ring, he doesn't need to do that anymore. He's got 2 of them already. Now he can go search for the cash, and he got paid, man.
So and I'll deal with this other part that you was talking about too. And he's going to bring all that to Tennessee. So the question, why do you get rid of a guy like this, right? One of the top corners in the league. Well, the reason that you could sit well with that move is because we have some very talented guys behind him that actually got significant playing time when Steve wasn't out, or we had to move him around. And that was obviously Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson. So we have guys there. We got depth on the team. We do, especially at that position. I said we had the best secondary in the NFL, and people really didn't know it. They didn't even know with the depth that we got. Veach has been an absolute master getting DBs in the draft. It's what he's been able to do. Somehow he's the DB whisperer, right? The scouts are going out there finding these guys, these diamonds in the rough, and they becoming stars. So can he mimic that in this draft again? Absolutely. But he can get a guy for the future. We got guys that's here already, right? McDuffie's going to be here. He's a starter in the league. We know this, Pro Bowler, first team All-Pro, one of the top corners in the league. Okay? Jalen Watson, okay? We know what his lankiness, had a little, I think, a shoulder injury, but he's going to be fine. He's going to be all right, okay? Joshua Williams, okay? We kind of talked about this. Some guy on Twitter, I know we sent something out, and guy was getting on him a little bit and saying, like, basically, it's a drop-off in the position, and I don't see no dog in you, but don't be disrespected about what I'm saying. And it's just crazy just to say that, right? and look, and I try to appeal to, his reasoning and rationale, because I was just like, look, man. He said, JD, I respect you too. But look, we got to be honest. When you talk about a guy's talent, you talking about his heart, his will to get things done. What are you basing this on? See, the thing is, when I went in and I checked out the PFF, Marcus, the grading system, Joshua Williams was rated higher than Sneed was on there. And obviously, like I said, a small sample size of what Joshua Williams was able to do, but that's promising that he's, in the top 20. I forgot what he was. I have it, but that tells me that he has everything of heart in him. He has everything of dog in him. He learned, from Steve being in front of him. He knows how to be physical. He knows what it takes to play in the NFL. He's got legitimate time playing to know what these guys can do. And we've seen him. He went against a couple of good wide receivers. He's played against the best. He's been in there with Diggs. He's been in there with Chase. He's been there with all these guys. So obviously, they have a lot of trust in him. I have a lot of trust in his ability. Nothing tells me that he can't get the job done. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So that's why I am. Go ahead. I know you want to say something. Go ahead. That's why I am with it.
And what I want to say is, I know there's a lot of Chief fans. And obviously, Sneed was great with us, and we're going to miss him. But the one thing I will say, and I think this kind of maybe shook a little bit, maybe shook Veach a little bit in a good way, and show us that we can move on from Sneed, was the AFC Championship game last year. First drive of the game, Sneed gets hurt out of that game. We end up winning that game with Josh Williams out there, with Jalen Watson out there, with McDuffie out there. So like that, and that was the Cincinnati Bengals AFC Championship game last year. And we were able to pull together, I mean, those guys and that was their rookie season, right? The rookie season, they come out. Yeah, it was a rookie season. They come out there and they do their thing. And I think Josh Williams had a pick in that game too, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at that. But like, I think that right there is what showed him like, look, we have really talented DBs in our room. We do not need to be paying anybody top 5 cornerback money. We just don't need to do it. And plus, we've talked about before. We have to be very kind of efficient and selective with who we pay, and that's why Mahomes and Jones got the bag. And then outside of that, you kind of have to be selective with it. And we have good enough DBs in that room to be selective in that spot that we have, because we have talented young guys back there. And that AFC Championship game was a huge eye-opener to Brett Veach and a lot of our Chief fans to see, hey, like, we don't really need Sneed. Yes, Sneed's great. It's a luxury, but we don't really need him. So
right. And it's just more than just good enough. These guys are starting in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why we'd be crazy to downplay how good these guys are, okay? They have the body type. They got the athletic ability. There was that one, okay? And we talked about this. This is when everybody was getting them like, why is Spags putting these young guys in against Diggs, one-on-one? I was like, because they can learn immediately. Joshua, I think, had the one, and he just didn't turn his head fast enough, okay? And that was just technique-wise, okay, that he could have worked on. That's it. Great positioning, hit everything down. Everything was perfect to that point of like, get your head around or get your hand up where you need to be. And his head was just a little late. But that is something that he can grow into. He's teaching that. Now he knows, okay, well, shoot, you get burnt on this or something happens, he's catching football? Because this is a great receiver catching the ball, first off, catching it, one of the best receivers in the game. But 2, he won't make a mistake again. He knows how to get up and put his hand up. So that's the best thing you could possibly do. Best scenario is put these guys in a fire early so they know what to expect. You're not just putting a guy out here who's never played a game before, who's never played an NFL game. He's got significant snaps. He's got significant snaps to know how to play, to measure up against these guys he's going against. So, having Sneed and those guys, it was a luxury. So that was something. Spags was like, oh, look, I love Sneed. We know that. We love him. He's one of our brothers. Steve's won't get a bag. Give him what he wants. If we can't give it to him, let's give him what he wants. Yeah. So he obtained a Super Bowl ring here, what everybody in the league wants to do. You want to win, and you want to get paid, okay? Sneed just now accomplished both, all right? He's accomplished both. So it's a win-win situation for him, really. And so the Chiefs, I think they understand they got the right man for the job in the room. If they didn't think that, they might have been a little bit more reluctant and reticent to give L'Jarius Sneed out there, right? Seriously, let's just be real. So,
and going back to the AFC Championship game, Watson had a pick, and so did Josh Williams. So that was the game. I think that was that's a realization point right there for them. And then on top of that, we have Shamari Connor steps in this year and looked phenomenal.
Yes.
And you got Najee Johnson coming back from his ACL injury. who's starting during training camp, and then he gets hurt. So we have a plethora amount of guys who can come in and really do a good job. And I'm really excited to see what the secondary can do this year again.
Me too. Like I said on my Twitter, we still have the best secondary in the NFL, bar far. So we're gonna be fine. Secondary is gonna be all right.
It just tells you how good our secondary was with Sneed, though.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Sneed was, lockdown corner, very, very highly effective on man. Just being physical, throwing guys down, like throwing Tyreek and all these guys. That's what you want. And so those guys can mimic that. They can. They really can. So
the third pick next year will serve us well. Yeah, and that's another tool too. I know everyone's like, "Oh man, it's next year." It's like, I mean, it's a Titans third pick. So that's a team that's not guaranteed to make the playoffs. That's a team where they don't even know who their quarterback's going to be. I mean, yeah, they don't know it's going to be next year because it's going to Levis this year. They say he's going to battle it out with Rudolph, but we don't know who's going to be. And there's a potential of that team not making the playoffs. That's a potential of being a high third round pick next year. So that's a piece that we can maybe maneuver to try to get a higher pick in the second round, or throw it in and try to get a higher pick in the first round. I mean, I don't know, but like that gives us more ammo to kind of use to get up in the draft and stuff. So I know a lot of people are crapping on it because it wasn't this year's pick and it wasn't a second round pick, but like it's a third round pick. So when we get to next year, like, man, we got two of these bad boys. It's amazing.
It's a good round pick, but for us, we could really utilize it this year if we wanted to move up for particular areas that we are kind of depleted in, right? And so that would have served us well this year, because teams are probably looking at it next year like, now we'll wait. Okay, we'll see. So I don't know. We'll see. They might still be able to work something out, to do those things. We'll just have to find out. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, this draft.
Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, I wanted to make sure we paid homage to Sneed, give him his love for getting that contract, and I wish him well in Tennessee, and also hopefully calm down any of the people who are really pissed off at Brett Veach and maybe starting not to trust him, which I don't know if he's given any reason to not trust Brett Veach. But hey, and that's also another thing too. If that was a deal we got, that means that was the best we were getting offered, and at that point, it's okay. We'll do it.
Yeah, that's what we had to revisit with. And I think he has people on the hook before the end prior to that. And then it was just, what they were probably trying to get. They was like, yeah, we were out of this. But this is the NFL business. This is how business works, man, in NFL. It really is. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
And they said that to show you how much like teams weren't offering us what we as fans valued him as. They had that deal set in stone for a few weeks, they said. So that means he wasn't getting better than that offer, which is wild, because I think Sneed's worth more than that. But the fact that that's what teams that they were setting the market, like that's what we're going to give him for him. So
you only work what somebody's willing to pay and get for you. That's it. That's how it works. So
exactly. About time. I agree 100%. If you don't trust Veach, you got issues. I agree. I think he's proven himself at this point. All the John Dorsey stands out there. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.